Hey guys, I'm gonna hope you can you guys hear me? Oh, Jesus Christ. I think the Lord is testing me today. And oh my God. Connected. All right, guys. Okay. Hope. All right. I don't know if you guys can hear me, but if you can, I'm about to cuss the world out. So hopefully, maybe you can at this point. This shit didn't say connected like it always does. And that's okay. So I don't even know why we're looking at. Okay. Hi, guys. Just gonna keep it moving and not lose my shit about life right now because we all can lose our shit about life right now. And honestly, thanks, Stephen. Officially bubbly. I saw your channel earlier. I was like, who's officially bubbly? Aside from bubbly. Okay. Don't cuss. I'll try. But now why is it not showing me my shit over here? See, this pisses me off. Hold on. Because seriously. Oh, jeez. Okay. I don't give a shit what the background looks like, but I want to make a point with Martin Luther King Jr. right here. I want to make it a point. And I have to say, I've been very emotional. And if you guys come to a point where you can't hear me, let me know. But there's a lot to say. And if I continued to look into the Kohberger case, I would die trying, right? I got information from a FOIA request today about Tyson Farley, and I didn't have a chance, and I was trying to say this in the live I attempted to do. But, I feel like sometimes the devil is literally trying to hush some of us, and that's not okay to me. I've dealt with a lot, and some of you also have dealt with a lot. And at the end of the day, sometimes I question if it's worth it. So, I'm just frustrated with my computer today. And honestly, I'm frustrated with the intelligence of some people, or questioning the intelligence of some people. It's either questioning that or the reality of why they don't see the truth in this Idaho case. And honestly, I also have to say, I have a lot of feelings about Charlie Kirk's memorial yesterday. And I'm not going to be silent because of losing people. I'm just not. Hi, Toes. Oh my God. I just thought of you. Literally, Toes. I literally just thought of you last night when I was listening to Eminem talking about, while rapping about Trump. But oh my God, Toes. I'm so glad you're here. You just made my day. And hey, Red Metal, sorry. And officially Bubbly and everybody else who's here. I don't know who's here. 2 people might be here. I can't pay attention or I'll lose sight of what I'm even attempting to say, which now I'm so pissed off that I don't know exactly what I was trying to get across. But I do have a few just broad, basic statements I want to make. And sorry if you were here earlier and I had technical difficulties. I swear to God, the devil does not want this woman to speak anything. So I had to take a break and come back. But I have a lot to say, and I'm bordering on, do I say it like the rest of the people that now I follow that say it exactly what's on their mind, but they're all about politics and stuff. I've never been that person. However, I feel it is almost my duty as a mixed race person in America to have an opinion. I've been watching so much Candace Owens, and some of this stuff I'm going to share, and I am going to share something in just a bit of controversial topic, I guess you could say. And I just want to preface everything I say before I forget to say it. Whatever Charlie Kirk said ever did not need to result in his death. However, however, Charlie Kirk was Charlie Kirk. And trust and believe, if y'all watched yesterday's day-long tribute to Charlie Kirk, like he was some kind of Martin Luther King Jr., I started to question why we're praising Charlie Kirk to this extreme, the fullest extreme of the law, I guess you could say. I was all into it. I believe it's awful. However, I believe yesterday was a targeted, hey, Thomas. And sorry, guys, if I don't pay attention, I'll try and catch up. But exactly, Toast. And that's when I heard, and trust me, I do my homework, y'all. I tried to understand who Charlie Kirk was before I had a word to say about Charlie Kirk, right? Honestly, I wish he was alive because I wish I could debate the guy. Yesterday was a performance, in my opinion, and full of propaganda that did not honor Charlie Kirk. And now I'm questioning, and I'm going to show you something that I was sent, and also right before I went live, I had just seen. I'm questioning, just like I'm questioning Kohberger. I'm now questioning the United States of America as to how they decipher who is a person who took lives or a life or not, and how they do that. And I'm going to say something right now before I forget it. And if someone reminds me, I'll try and find something to share with you guys. Because at the end of the day, whoever's been in the Idaho4 since day one, y'all will probably get it. But today I realized Pam Bondi, her voice sounds exactly like Kim WSU. Legit. And I was like, oh my God. And then I hear Kim WSU being like, yeah, I went straight to Quantico in Virginia. And I'm like, oh my God. Maybe, and the way this woman, Pam Bondi, argues sounds just like Kim WSU. I might be crazy, but I might not be also. And I don't know. I just find it odd. But yeah, you guys, and here's the thing with Charlie Kirk, no one deserves to die. When I heard the portion of yesterday when it was his wife starting to talk, but it started off with, Jesus loves me. Yes, I know, because the Bible tells me so. That was like a preschool song for me. And it just, I hate to say it, but I feel like everything yesterday that occurred was propaganda. And I hope I'm wrong. But that brought me back to my childhood. My dad dies when I'm 37 almost. And yet I see myself as that little child. And so I get how they're playing this game with American citizens, but they're not telling us the full facts of the truth. And I don't know, you guys. I really don't. That kind of broke me yesterday, so I didn't even listen to the full anything that Trump said or JD Vance, because number one, I did vote for them the first time around. Second time, no. And I'm proud of not doing that, because I'm sorry, I'm not voting for people who are criminal anything. And when I was in Outcast podcast and the girl wanted to argue that Trump was not charged with 34 felonies, and I'm sorry, yes, he was. And if he had lost the presidential election, Trump would be in prison. So that's a problem for me. It's a problem when we're going to ignore victims of violence. And at the end of the day, the police, the FBI, I've seen it myself due to the harassment and attacks I've received from one individual. Before Trump was in office, the Fed sent the cops to my house the very first time I made a report. Do you think since then I've had one even officer, unless I contacted them? Because you're supposed to make it on the federal FBI cyber crimes unit report, blah, blah, blah thing online. Do you think I've had one person give a shit in the world? At the end of the day, everything, and I'm watching politics now, y'all. It wasn't my thing, but I'm in love with Jazzy Crockett. I'm no longer Elle Woods, like, Elle Woods. I'm now Jazzy Crockett from Texas because she's a baddie and she tells it like it is and she speaks for the American people. And she will put anyone in their place like no other. And at the end of the day, hi, Smiling Sleuth. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to pay attention. Yeah. And honestly, I think I know what you're saying, officially bubbly, about that stream. But I got cut off first, and I don't know why. I'll never know why. I don't really care why anymore. But I know who I am as a person. I know what I've been through. I know what I stand for. And I will never, ever be hushed. The way that occurred was ridiculous. And I guess it just goes to show this is an online community. We can all pretend to be friends if we want to pretend. You know what I mean? But the reality is, sometimes when it's your show, it's all about you. And I get that. I might have shut someone up too. I wouldn't have shut me up by any means because I don't think I said anything wrong. However, fine, so be it. However, don't have an open panel telling people y'all can come up and say what you feel, say what you believe, and act like that's okay and shut me up. Why? Because I'm the stronger voice, I'm the stronger opinion, I'm the non-white opinion. That bothered me. And at the end of the day, I'm sorry, but I'm always going to hold true to what I now have. I've spent so much time, you guys, learning about the law, about people in prison, about our rights. And I still have a lot to learn. But at the end of the day, when someone doesn't want to sit down, shut up, and listen to what I have to say about why I felt the way I felt, that speaks volumes in and of itself to me. And so, I can't hate you for it. I don't want to debate you for it. In all reality, I feel like I've not even been able to share my entire story on my own platform due to what I've been through. And so that night really pissed me off. And since then, the entirety of the Charlie Kirk situation has done nothing but piss me off because Charlie Kirk did not deserve to die, because nobody deserves to die for what they believe in. Charlie Kirk had some wild beliefs, and again, I wish I could have debated him myself, but I'm not college age, so I would have had to catch him on the streets and be like, "Hey, Charlie, let's argue with each other." Charlie would have probably married me. This is a funny point I want to make, though. I forget who I was telling this to yesterday, but I did say, and I'm going to be honest, y'all, I literally said Charlie Kirk would have probably married me because I spent a lot of time in Arizona and I met a lot of cool dudes. And Glendale is the first business trip I ever took to Arizona. And it was also the first dating app date I went on. And Arizona had a lot of cool dudes, and I spent a lot of time. I tried out for The Bachelor in Arizona. It's way different from my little farm town I come from. And just because I'm half black, half white, I wish to God Charlie Kirk had been on, I would have been way too old for Charlie Kirk, by the way, just to mention. But let's pretend that wouldn't be the case. I legit believe Charlie Kirk would have been like, oh my God, I love her. And I would love to argue with him. I mean, I'm an arguer. But what I saw yesterday, I'm sorry, you guys. I don't know, but that's not a wife's tears. And I'm trying very hard not to go into what I want to go into, but y'all can sit and think about it. And if you want, after this, leave it in the comments. I heard the word sacrifice a million times yesterday. And I really started to think, and then I listened to Candace Owens talk about Charlie and some of the things that maybe Charlie was deciding he didn't agree with. And all signs lead to Idaho. And I hate that I feel that way, but I'm a psycho. Everything is Idaho. Everything. And people think I'm crazy. So that's why I have to go live, because everybody in my life thinks I'm nuts. It's like always, oh God, here we go, Idaho again. But first of all, I do want to bring to your attention one thing. Yeah, or Utah. And Utah is, and I listened, Red Metal, I listened randomly. Some girl has a channel. She's an ex-Mormon, and she was talking, and she was explaining also why Mormons think people of color are less than or evil. And this was like me eating breakfast, not looking for this today. I was like, oh my God, I need something else to be mad about in today's world. But it's kind of weird. I look back at like my dentist, my orthodontist. Oh, so y'all think this way of me? Actually, yes, I'll never go back to my dentist again. Because I heard from someone's words that weren't like talking about Lori Vallow and Psycho, just like you, Red Metal. Like, it legit makes it all make sense. And when I say anything about Mormons, I'm only going off what I've been told, just like Mormons are only going off what they've read in their alleged Bible. So it's just wild. And in my opinion, and I have to share this, so I'm going to pull it up right now. The Charlie Kirk thing, I saw this earlier, and I'm really not a conspiracy theorist. However, I'm a little bit of a realist, and when I'm hearing things being said and I'm questioning things, and then I see this pop off, like, hold on, I'm looking for it. Otherwise, I can't talk about it. Okay, hold on. One second. By the way, though, while I'm looking, did y'all see that? I mean, if I were Jimmy Kimmel, I would say fuck off. But did you guys see Jimmy Kimmel gets his job back? It's not bubbly toes. It's not that bubbly. Bubbly was here in the beginning, but then I had to get out of here because my shit wasn't working proper. But toes, it's not that bubbly. Just so you know. Hi, Trade with Journal. Thanks for being here. It's the music maker. Listen. Okay. So hold on. Trying to find where I had it to show you guys, because this is kind of really wild. Also not trying to pull up everything else that you guys don't need to know right now. Because I do think I found someone tied to Brian Kohberger. Hold on. Man, where did it go? You don't like Kimmel? I mean, I don't care about Jimmy Kimmel himself. What I care about is freedom of speech. And I don't think what he said, and I couldn't even tell you a quote of what I think at all he said. However, I just think that a comedian late night should be able. I just believe Trump is trying to silence all of us if we don't agree with him, and I don't agree with him. And I feel like I have to have my DNA test ready to prove that I'm 68% European versus black because of the color of my skin. Like, I literally have said jokingly, the Russians are coming. I don't feel we should be living in a nation where whatever our opinion is has to be censored or silenced. And if it is, then I do agree with Pam Bondi. Go after the people who are attacking people, cyber crimes, those type of ordeals, because they're pretending they're pretending people have committed crimes in this country, and that's not the case. And they're scaring people that do hard work, especially in California, out of their jobs. And in my opinion, who's going to do the hard work if the people doing the hard work getting paid pennies on a dollar? If they get rid of all of them, even if they came legally, it seems to me they're not handling them legally and they're getting rid of them. So do they expect the black folk, like Charlie Kirk seemingly thought, in my opinion, from all the interviews I've said, so is the black folks supposed to go back to being a slave? That's my question. Okay, have fun with the puppies. But that's my question. And my biggest issue, you guys, and I have to find where I threw my freaking computer charger. Hold on. Oh, good. I forgot. I wrote on my whiteboard of my points I wanted to make. But I just wish people would listen to the fact that when I say I don't think people who have not 1 ounce of color in their skin, they don't understand. And that's speaking lightly of my feelings. And I am speaking on behalf of my dad who went through segregation. And hold on, I just have to plug my computer thing in so I can share this with you. I swear to God. I swear the devil is fucking with me. I swear to God. Okay. We're going to do it a different way. I think I'm not supposed to talk at all. That's what I think. I can't get a plug into a wall. That's a problem. And it's not Sunday Funday. It's literally, I can't get a plug in a wall. Hi, Thomas, you're back. The inherent problem in regulating free speech is that any Evaluation by government agencies will be subjective at best and limited to personal. Yes, I agree. 100%. And unfortunately, we have a president who interprets everything against him. I mean, I heard an interview today, and Thomas, I was trying to share what we had discussed earlier, because it's a prime example. But also, I heard another interview with the president, and I could not see, but I was told it was a Black woman reporter who was butting in and asking, like all the reporters do in the Oval Office when they have their 5 seconds to ask questions. And he literally belittled the shit out of her and told her to shut up and stop talking. And I'm sorry, I'm kind of overseeing my president of my United States. Like, we are supposed to be the United States, not the divided states, the United States of America. And the way he spoke to her, it really just goes to show everything we know. No answers get answered, or no questions get answered. If people ask questions that no one wants to answer, even Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, none of them have real answers as to what's happening. And I was never into politics, and I'm not into politics. I'm into people. But the problem is, this is becoming, yesterday, what I witnessed, as beautiful as it was for Charlie Kirk, I also witnessed something that would not have happened had Charlie Kirk been a Black kid. Charlie Kirk. Like, I firmly believe that. I think yesterday was not about Charlie Kirk. It was about politics. And the minute politics got brought up, it disgusted me, because you can't do both. Let him be the person he was. If he was so important to America, fine, so be it. However, his own words about people like Martin Luther King Jr. don't make me think he deserved a 9-hour day tribute to him, because he went and debated kids and acted like an asshole. And I'm sorry, I don't think he deserved to die. I don't think anyone does. But as what I'm about to show you, I think it's this one. I've watched so many. Oh no, it might. I hope it's this one. But the Bible does state also, you reap what you sow. And so just because Candace Owens was friends with Charlie, she's also speaking out on a lot. And I think that anyone who cared about Charlie should be speaking truth, not falling into the nonsense of this movement that is supposed to divide us more than unite us. And in my opinion, what president do any of us need who is not here to unite us as Americans? And we all fought to be here. Even if your white ass got here, just like all the people I looked up, looking up Kohberger and Funk and Showalter, they all came on a ship from somewhere else. So what makes them American? What makes you better than anyone else who came to this country where we are all supposed to be united and free because of the people bravely fighting still to this day for us? That's what bothers me the most. And hold on, I still can't plug this shit in. So I'm paying attention, but I'm also here. And honestly, Toast, divide and conquer. Every time I think of a nation divided, I hear my dad say divide and conquer. And I wish I could remember better the conversation he was having with me, but I hear him very vividly saying, yes, baby, it's divide and conquer. And my dad was one of the people that, Donald Trump and all this shit would not bother my dad. But you know what? That's sad to me because my dad went through segregation. My dad and that era, those people trained themselves to not be bothered by what they should truly be bothered by, and that they have a right to be bothered by. The hardest workers in America are not white people. And they also, I hate to say it, but I won't play that one, but when Charlie Kirk talked about people who take lives, he decided he didn't want to pay attention to the reality of the fact that many people, like mass shooters, his shooter, even Idaho, fine. If Brian did it, he's white. So all the shit people put on the people of color is bullshit. And the statistics prove it, but no one wants to pop those up on the screen when people like Charlie Kirk get taken out of the world. And again, I will say again, I don't believe anyone. I feel for his family. But again, I will also say the word sacrifice was used several times in yesterday's performance. And I'm still trying to make out what I think of that, because the word sacrifice means a lot to me after knowing what I know about Idaho. And also, I just have to say, I cry every other day, probably at one point or another, even if it's 5 seconds, about my dad being gone. And his wife, just like Kaylee's sister, in my opinion, put on some kind of performance. And again, all speculation, just my opinion. But Charles James Kirk, Christ Jesus the King, yesterday made me feel like we're supposed to worship Charlie like he was some kind of god. And I wouldn't have had these feelings if it wasn't for Idaho, you guys. I really wouldn't. I would be a normal person still, probably, because I would be a non-informed normal person, because these are things we have to question. And then I hear what I hear from Candace Owens. There's a lot going on behind the scenes. And then Tucker Carlson Can y'all hear me now? I swear the devil wants me to get so pissed because every single time I go live, I get pissed. And I'm pissed, but it's all good. Okay, good. Yay. Yay. I'm pissed. But hold on. Hear me now? No. I swear the devil. Hold on, don't worry about me listening to myself on my phone. Now my phone's dying on me. What the fuck? Okay. Hold on. I'm trying to share something important with you guys. Oh, by the way, never mind. I'll save it. I'll save what I was about to say for later. I'll save it. I'm looking for the YouTube. Sorry, guys. I had it, but now it's all gone because, you know. Hold on. I gotta go to my history now because I didn't go to my emails. And Thomas knows what I'm looking for. I'm just trying to find it. Turning Point's live again. That's interesting. Wait, what the fuck? Hold on, guys. I can't see what you're saying. And I don't like looking at Judge Hitler by any means. That's not what I want to see. Shoot. I'm looking. Hold on. I'm going to my emails again because I need to decipher which one I need to actually share with you guys. Starred. Yes. Yes. Okay. I found it. Sorry, guys. Oh, okay. I have a lot actually here I want to share. So we're gonna share 3 things. Which one do I want to share first with you guys? If you, first of all, I just want to know who in the chat. Hold on, coming back to find the chat. Can you guys hear her as I talk? Like his wife. Like, do you hear that? Father, forgive them. Can you guys hear her and me? Oh, thanks. Okay, thank you. Thanks, because thank you. Thanks, Thomas. Oh, you hear her too. Okay. And I don't want to be a bad person, but also I don't know why you guys are able to hear that at the same time. Hold on. Hang on. Hang on to your belt buckles or whatever Pop would say to hang on to. You're gonna lose your ears and your whatever's. Okay, good. This is easier for me. Thanks. Okay. So I'm going to share this. And I mean, it's just we all can have a conversation. And I'm going to stop it a couple times because obviously I have to. But let's discuss this new video. And I'm gonna, actually, I need to say trigger warning. This does not show what one would think it might show, but this also shows more than some can maybe handle. And after watching it, I definitely had a little bit of weird feelings about it, but it talks reality. And I think that if you've questioned things in this assassination, this will help you understand. So I'm going to start it and then I'm going to stop it a couple times. I don't want to annoy you guys, but I have to. And I'm trying to get it to the point. Okay, I'm going to start it here and let me share my screen. Okay. Here we go, you guys. And then I'll come back. I can't see what you're saying, though, just so you guys know. All right.
The bullet coming down, and it does line up with the actual gunshot itself.
They're not counting gang violence. Great.
So this video was created by a friend of mine who is a Marine. You'll see him here at the end. This is the angle he is showing the shot coming from, showing where Charlie was sitting, and the angle of the shot, which will correspond with this video here, which unfortunately we will blur out Charlie's face, but we will show what is necessary to prove that this was an entry and exit wound. So you'll see him circle the highlighted area right there, and you'll see the exit wound corresponding after, a split second after, as it would from an entry and exit wound. So in this footage, you can clearly see that Charlie is shot from his back right, and there's blood splatter coming out of the entry wound immediately after a shot. The first arc is kind of down as if it's just gushing out from the entry wound. And then the second shot corresponds with when his head kind of snaps forward, that fluid then flips up in relation to that motion. So you can see
Oh, yeah, I muted myself. Sorry, guys. I was like, am I really this fucking shit? And then I was like, oh, I had the light on my laptop, so I didn't like talk and say shit I shouldn't say. Sorry, guys. Oh my God, I just said a whole fucking paragraph of like words. Now I don't even know what I said. All I know is I was never a conspiracy theorist. And now I am not a conspiracy theorist. I'm real. I rationalize. How did this happen in this regard? If this A, B, C, and D are the facts, and you ain't making sense with the facts that we've been given, or there are no facts, like in the Kohberger case. Give me the facts, let them add up, make it make sense, and that's all good. But I don't know if I said this earlier or not before I muted myself, but there's a guy who almost looks like freaking Tucker Carlson, like a baby Tucker. And I'm not saying that he's a bad guy. And by all means, I think his words at yesterday's event were everything. But the guy kind of looks like Tucker, but he also really resembles the guy who did this, that we have the sunglasses, like the CCTV or whatever. And no one's talking about how dude does not look like dude that they arrested. So is it that important to arrest somebody in a case like this or a case like Idaho that they don't give two shits who they arrest? That's not okay. But I'll have to find that if I can. I'm still learning, you guys. But hold on, we're going to go back to this one. We're going to go back and I'm going to read.
There's that second splatter flipping up into the air. This is something that I hadn't seen to this date. I saw this for the first time late in the evening yesterday, and I decided that this needed to be put out immediately because no one that I know of is talking about this. So big shout out to my friend who actually found this and created this video. You'll see him here in just a moment, but let's just one more time look at this shot. You see bullet comes in that circled area. You have the blood splatter go down, then up, and then immediately after, you see the exit right here with the skin being pierced, and then the exit wound emerges. And again, that is not a far distance for a bullet to travel, whatever the caliber is, whether it be 5.56, 308, 30-06. It's not even a debate at this point. It doesn't matter what caliber killed him. What matters is that the official narrative is not true. Again, whether the FBI knows or not that they're lying, but this is 100% conclusive evidence that Charlie Kirk was shot in the back of the head. And
okay. So let me interrupt there again. Yeah, the FBI, we've got issues. In my opinion, we've got issues. They're not telling the truth. Pam Bondi sounds like Kim WSU, in my opinion. Sorry, Kim, if you ever hear this. I love you, but if you're her, you need to speak up, lady. But everything that we're being told is not correct. And I applaud every single person. Yeah, you mean the guy from back in the day? Toes, yeah, not really. I'm going backwards all over again in my research because of everything that I've come across lately. Brian Kohberger's twin is Melvin Brannon Amos. I think Melvin Amos Brannon. And today I opened the Bible that came from my dad's house, and it went to like the Old Testament, and it was Amos. And I said, oh my God. So it's unfortunate, like people like me, I have to like know, and I have to be in the mood, and I have to be feeling like I'm being guided somewhere. And lately I've felt that a lot. In the mix of that, though, I've been, you obviously know, I've been bullied, attacked, and prosecuted basically by a hater or two. And it's really, today I really was emotional because I was so mad that, not that they did that, but that I allowed that to happen, and that I allowed me to set myself back, not only from making money, but from proving the truth in the Idaho4 case. And it's scary because you're right. It literally goes back to people like Frank B. Robinson. It literally goes back to what these people were told, what they read, what they believed in. And at the end of the day, the people who don't speak, they're living in fear. And that's the only explanation as to why not one individual has it in them. Not any kid, dude, grown, young, almost, they're grown men, upright and standing, men. None of them have the courage, though, to speak on what happened to Ethan Chapin. And in my eyes, that's disgusting. In my eyes, the Chapins know exactly what happened. And in my eyes, I watched something just this morning and I was like, yeah, that's what you do. You run into a burning building if your loved one, your animal, your anybody is dying inside, or you run up to the police officer when you're told what Hunter Chapin was allegedly told, that Ethan was dead. And yet he didn't run. He sat away from the place. He literally was on his phone. None of them gave a shit about Murphy. I mean, you guys, come on. Like, humanity at its best is someone who gives a fuck, runs into the problem. Whether they're at risk or not, you run into what you're fearing. I would hope. I would. At the end of the day, none of these kids did that. And I know, truthfully, I've been basically shadow banned. None of my videos go out. None of my lives go out. Because I'm talking what, in my opinion, is the truth. And I'm sorry, but, oh, that's the other thing I want to share. Because I got my FOIA request back for Tyson Farley. And I have to just say it because it's inside of me, is that it's a little weird. I see you, Farley, but we all were told Kaylee dated a guy named Charlie, which allegedly was Reed Upmore, who I've told every single person, Charlie is Reed Upmore leaving at 4:23 a.m. Nobody wants to listen, so don't. But at the end of the day, when someone like Birdie or anybody else who thinks they came around and fucking found out, I've known this. I've been told this. And I legit just today found the person, in my opinion, the photographer who gave me all the information, who very well could be Papa Rogers. But I'm not going there today. But I'm sorry. When people want to act like they find information, they don't give credit where credit's due. That's bullshit. And that's cool. Bees in the trap. I don't care. Bees in the trap. He's not even the beehive mind. And I'm not even trying to hate on the dude. I'm just saying, how come he's not talking about video, like the surveillance that bees are doing for law enforcement nowadays? I mean, you gotta freaking understand what is actually happening in this country. And it's all of us that are being watched. And then we have all these, UPS trucks, FedEx trucks. They're all watching you now too. Cool, bro. But why is it after what happened in Idaho that it's such a big deal? And in the end of the day, I'm sorry, but and I can't even say it. I can't, because I said it yesterday and I felt bad. Saying sorry, Charlie, doesn't feel right. But at the end of the day, who are these young kids that are propped up, given these positions, made to do things, convinced? I'm not, never mind the word made to do, but convinced to do things and to fight for this and fight for that. Do they even know what they're fighting for or what they've been convinced of? TK. Donna, hi. No, I know he wasn't Papa Rogers. I promise you, I know that. My point is, there's other Papa Rogers. My point is, and I can't exactly make the point until I dig deeper into what I found today. However, I'm sorry, those kids were, Ethan was sacrificed. I also believe Charlie Kirk, my opinion, my channel, my opinion, I believe Charlie Kirk was sacrificed. I believe, as I was told about Ethan, now that I kind of understand, when you're convinced that you're being sacrificed, like you're the sacrificial lamb, I believe Charlie Kirk might have been convinced he was being sacrificed for the greater good of America. And what did he need? He wanted everyone to believe in what he believed in. Sacrifice. I'm sorry, nothing I heard yesterday was very real. Tucker Carlson was the best thing I heard yesterday because he was real. And if you don't agree, then I guess I wish I could rhyme what I just said with Israel, but I don't even know what the fuck about Israel and Palestine. All I know is no one should die in any situation, be it in America, be it in another country. But my question is why are we fighting so hard for people who are dying in other countries when we don't care about the people dying here today? And Donald Trump, especially, I mean, he literally got up yesterday and shit on Erica Kirk and what she said because she forgave the man who killed her husband, if that wasn't just some kind of fucking act. And then Donald Trump says, sorry, Erica, I hate my enemies. I'll never forgive them. I despise them, whatever he said. How is that supposed to be what America grows off of when that man is saying those kind of things to many millions of people there and watching Fight, fight, fight. I couldn't believe how politicized yesterday was. It shouldn't have been. It should have been, this kid didn't need to die. And they exploited Charlie Kirk, in my opinion, to no end. And at the end of the day, it made everyone, if anyone fucking has eyes and to see, ears to hear, and a brain to understand, yesterday was not okay. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. And no, I don't think Kohberger was Papa Rogers at all. That's not what I was saying. I was saying something else in regards to Charlie and Farley and other situational things with Idaho. But at the end of the day, my point is, why are we giving so much attention to, oh God, me too, toes. I mean, honestly, I don't even know. I had all sorts. I cried for a second. I cried. Actually, I'll be honest. I legit cried when the song Jesus Loves Me, and it was the little kid's voice. Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. And the little kid was running to him. I was raised on that song. But I also was raised on the fact that my dad was born in 1953. And he endured, no, you can't drink out of this fucking water fountain because you're black. And Charlie Kirk believed it was a mistake that we ever had the Civil Rights Act in America. Again, I wish I was young enough to defeat his ass. I also, after Idaho, I will say, and I don't give a shit if y'all think I'm crazy, but now that I don't trust what happened in Idaho, I don't trust what happened to Charlie Kirk, especially when it looks like some other dude killed him. And the way we're seeing the angle of the gunshot doesn't make sense. And if that dude's dad is getting 1 point whatever million from I forget who, because I'm just learning all of these names. Just like I believe Brian Kohberger may very well have been also, like Ethan Chapin, a sacrificial lamb. Because you're raised to believe whatever the fuck you're convinced to believe, and your life matters to God. And so you go do this brave thing, right? Because we all take, let's take the Bible out of context. And then we're going to sacrifice you because you're so wonderful. I don't know what the hell Brian's family believes, but I sure the fuck question why the fuck they're not saying a damn word about why their kids sitting in prison with 4 life sentences. And I've already told y'all, he is fucking related to some of these people. I cannot prove it because they all made shit private once I opened my mouth before I knew I shouldn't open my mouth, right? Okay. So, why'd the FBI go hush Gabriela Vargas, the DNA witness in California? Because they don't want people to talk about reality. That's the truth. And so, I literally feel like I'm preaching as God, the truth, the light, and the way. Well, I don't know. I don't have to read a Bible and I don't have to pull one out to tell all of you what is the truth, the light, and the way to all of you, me included. Because what we're seeing is not the truth, the light, and the way. And don't hate on me if I'm making it sound sillier than it needs to sound. But I'm literally saying, I truly do believe the truth, the light, and the way is the way out of darkness. And that's my best, non-preacher girl version of reality in both of these situations. And the government wants us to just sit down, shut up, and take everything they're telling us as fact. Why? I mean, Tyson Farley, that's what I was looking for. Glad I said that. Tyson Farley, I'm pulling it up right now. Tyson Farley, I had told Bubbly he was just moved prisons, right? And I didn't fully read everything because I really don't want to talk about Tyson fucking Farley. But, at the end of the day, it is what it is. And I seriously don't understand how. My biggest issue is, why are these parents okay with the shit that we, the people, are not okay with? That's not okay. None of it's okay. We should not be okay with what we're expected to be okay with. And I question the reality of all of this solely based on that. Because if that was my child, these kids are not my kids. But I sure the hell have fought for them like they're my kids. And so why, at the end of the day, is it okay that they literally aren't questioning shit about anything? I don't understand. I'll never understand it. And I'm trying to find the fucking thing about Farley. I don't think we should condone that that's okay. Hold on one second. I'm looking. I don't have even room on my computer to save the shit that I look up. So one second though. Hold on. I have to make sure you guys are not looking at like me typing in my password like as I go. This is weird. My computer's being so weird. TK, thanks for being here and, responding to people because I can't keep up at this moment. Well, let me finish the Kirk assassination thing, and I'm sure I'll get probably, booted off the internet, but let me do this, and while you guys are watching this, then I can find what I'm trying to share if I can find it. But I'm just really trying not to expose my other information. So here, let's watch the end, and trigger warning again if you're, just showing up here. Hold on one second.
Exited through the front of his throat. All of the evidence points to Charlie being shot from his back right. Now, including this little blood splatter that we can see here against the white backdrop, the extreme hemorrhaging from the front of his neck, which again corresponds with an exit wound, the extreme loss of blood. No matter what the caliber is, that distance, that amount of meat is not enough for most bullets to expand. I mean, 99.9% of bullets will not expand in that short distance. Most of them require 12 to 14 to 16 inches even sometimes of tissue to expand properly. Also, Charlie tensing up correlates and proves that he was hit in his spine. It's a spinal injury. Any of the game that I've shot in the neck or in the high vitals where you impact the spine, the game usually drops right in its tracks because you sever the spinal cord. This is, again, exactly what we see with Charlie. He tenses up. His head movement also correlates with being shot in the back of the head. His head snaps forward, and then he tenses up, and you see him fade away, drop the mic, and was absolutely traumatizing video footage. And I'm sorry to have to show you guys this again, but this needs to be seen and talked about because this is going to be suppressed in the algorithm. So make sure you share this with any of your friends, your family members. Save this video, whatever you need to do. So this video was actually provided to the channel by a friend of mine who is a Marine, and I forgot to show you the end of the video here. So this is my friend who actually made the video. I want to just give him a shout out. I will link his socials down in the description below. Again, he is the one who brought this to my attention. This is his video. He created this. He did the drawings on it, and he sent it to me to allow me to use it to show you guys what we're talking about. So he says, I have been shot many times, 3 times to be exact, and I know exit and entry wounds. I have extensive firearms training inside the Marines and the civilian world as well. It appears that Charlie was shot in the back right side of his head, and the bullet exited through his neck. The moment I saw the video and he tensed up, I thought, that looks like a headshot given the fact that he seized up. It is very common. It is a very common occurrence with a headshot. So this dude, of all people, would know what an entry and exit wound looks like on his own body, literally up close in 4K HD, as they say. So if anyone is qualified to talk about it, it is this dude. He is a super cool guy. So please go ahead and check him out. And I really appreciate him sending me this over.
Okay, so I'm going to put the link to that video in my description. I have to say, originally, I just hear military and I think Brent Kopaka. I think a lot of things. If Brent Kopaka is indeed dead and Brian Kohberger is indeed anything I thought he was, like some agent of some kind exposing corruption, then I just don't buy it, I guess, because I'm trying to tell you guys something that I believe that I don't believe. And it's not going to come out my mouth because it's not what I believe. I firmly believe these people. And if Brent Kopaka is indeed deceased, Lord rest his soul, but he's deceased as a cover-up for something much bigger than all of this. And Brian Kohberger's, in my opinion, intelligence fits with everything except nothing that we've been told. We've been told he didn't work for the police. I call bullshit. Tell me why his phone number when he got there was a digit off of Pullman, Washington Police Department. And I did a video and I did it and I showed you guys the proof after Brian was incarcerated. Why is the at that point, I guess, the only option to have a job, the phone number? Why would they be so dumb to even show that? They're dumb, obviously. Dumb crooks that fight criminals, in my opinion. They're acting like they fight the bad guys, yet some of these people are the bad guys. And that's what people need to pay attention to. And just like me, being a victim of a crime in which a police officer and an entirety of a police force did not believe me, I want to make it clear, you have more rights than just to be told no. Okay? You have so much more than that. And you have every right to not decide immediately you want to fight something. People who are traumatized, and I'm not just talking about my story for those of you who somewhat know it. I am not just talking about my story. I'm saying to anybody who has been traumatized, be it violence or whatever, you don't have to immediately decide you want to fight back. You still have a right to fight back. And if I could tell one thing to the old me that did decide almost a year later I wanted to fight back after knowing the outcome of my situation, you have every right to fight back still. You do not have to fight back. The law is not in charge of you, and the law is here to represent you and protect you. And if the law is not protecting you, we've got problems. Big ones. We literally have huge problems. If the law is not doing what every taxpayer here in America pays for, if they are not protecting you, what are they here for? To divide you? Not okay. So, as much as I know it's hard for some people, even on the issues that I think people don't think matter. I mean, my situation was a big situation. However, if you feel you've been arrested or you've been detained and you have not had your rights properly provided to you, you have rights. And you do not have to just do what the paper they gave you or whatever they told you if they arrested you and put you in jail. You don't have to do that shit. You have the ability to look into your rights. And in California, I have to say, I believe we are blessed because lots of people hate my governor. But guess what? Number one, I'd marry the guy. Number two, I think he's actually fighting for what needs to be fought for in this state. And he just made it to where ICE agents cannot wear freaking masks to cover their faces. Because guess what? You don't get to go pretend you're big bad whoever, the big bad boogeyman of ICE, arresting people who don't deserve to be arrested and think you get to get away with it because your face wasn't shown. No thanks. I'm sorry, but in my opinion, personal opinion, if we get rid of all the hard workers in my state who do all the farming, all the hard work, and I know farmers, I've dated a farmer. People actually do them. Some people, well, many of them, though, are paid pennies on a dollar. They're begging to stay here. And you're going to try and take them away. And then you want to do it with your face covered so you don't get in trouble by the administration that comes after you, right? Because, now that that's already happened with some cases, the next one can do the same to the people that are breaking the law in reality to arrest hardworking individuals, scaring families into oblivion and scaring people like me. Because guess what? If those people, hard workers who literally agree to whatever housing they're given, but they came here, many did come legally. They're fighting to keep their sanity, their safety. They're scared. Their kids are scared, even if it was legally. And so you want to scare them all out of here? So who's going to do the hard work? Well, I guess the black slaves of America. And that's my personal opinion. And if you want to get rid of those, I'm sorry. What's next? What's next? Because not one, and sorry if you're white, And if you're a hard worker, I love you for it. But not one white person founded this nation doing their hardest and damnedest of work with their hands, their feet, or their body, like Black, Mexican, and Asian individuals. Anyone of color that has put their time, effort, and everything. Not everyone had a choice either. So when I hear the bullshit about, oh, ICE agents, they're scaring people out of here. Why? And I'm sorry, I will make one thing very clear. The outcast little guest that I debated with, you're not going to tell me my president, your president, did not have 34 convictions against him or charges. You said charges. Had he not won, his ass would be in jail. Okay? So I know both sides of every table I sit at, or I wouldn't fucking talk. But I also don't appreciate being, discluded from the table because I got something to say. So, not my problem, your problem. I allow everybody to speak their mind so long they're kind and so long their point makes sense. If you want to come up here acting like a KKK person, nah, bro, you gotta go. But what I did not deserve what I got. And at the end of the day, everyone's true colors are coming to show who they are, what they stand for, and I'm cool. I'm grateful for the 9 people in my life right now. You know why? Because I hope they're listening. Because I'm not here to feed bullshit to people. And I'm not here for the dollar. I'm here to make a difference. At the end of the day, that's truly what I came here for. I hope one day to grow. I do. But at the end of today, I'm thrilled. I'm grateful. And I will never change who I am to make somebody else happy or to make $1. And I appreciate you guys all for being here. Because at the end of the day, it is you guys who keep me going. And many of you I have conversations with. And I was so excited. I got a green screen thing. But I think this coming weekend, I'm going to try and revise my office and figure out this whole Wi-Fi situation. But at the end of the day, I'm grateful for every single person who stays and listens. And I'm not here to spread hate or bullshit or anything like that. At the end of the day, I am here to, I hope, incite some kind of positivity. And if I'm failing at that, then I feel like I'm failing myself and you guys. And I have to say, today was a hard day for me. And going live after I said I'd go live, I had to go live. And then I had problems. And so I feel I have to just say, like, that's the enemy fighting. And I'm not that religious, but I also know enough to know what I know. And I truly am just grateful for you guys. And at the end of the day, I pray every one of you, all I ask is you guys leave this chat and one of you, all of you, if you run into someone tomorrow having a hard day at a store that you don't even know and they're rude, be kind. I'm going to be the difference compared to Charlie Kirk. Be kind. Don't fight with everybody. We don't all have to give our opinion. We all have an opinion, obviously. We're all human. And I do like the debate topic, but I don't believe in belittling people to the amount of what I've seen. And I also, again, will say Charlie Kirk did not deserve to die. I will post the records of Tyson Farley because I didn't get to that, and I will post them on my community post. I really got pissed off when my shit was not working. And again, in my opinion, it's the devil trying to shut me up. So I truthfully, I appreciate each of you. I appreciate your presence here. If you watch later, your comments. The end of the day, I think that we are all facing a time in this world where we have a choice, and that choice isn't pro-life or abortion. That's not the choice I'm talking about, because don't get me started on that. We have a choice to be kind. And I think that yesterday, Charlie Kirk, the whole thing would have been so much more beautiful had people left politics out of everything. But they didn't. They included it, including Donald Trump, who said he hates his opponents. And because I feel I might not have the right to my First Amendment to speak my beliefs on some of this, I'm going to until hopefully it's not taken. But I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The president of the United States with felony convictions that would be jailed if he were not president is not going to shut me up, period. And no one is going to tell me a woman, a 37-year-old woman, cat lady, is a loser, or whatever the hell JD Vance decided to speak on. He's lucky his wife is even with him still. And I'm sorry, the performance of a lifetime came from Erica Kirk. You don't have to speak just because your husband was assassinated. You don't. No one made you. You don't. And if that's insensitive, sorry. Not going to say the end of that. Not going to say it. Sorry. And Candace Owens makes it seem like Charlie was having some kind of spiritual situation. And so if that's the case, and Charlie was taken out, then I think we all have to be questioning the reality of what the hell we've been told of who and why he was taken out by. So at the end of the day, the silencing of Americans is crucial and not okay. Censorship is not okay. And when I watch and I pay attention to the fact that the FBI took 1,500 workers off their other jobs, like the cyber crimes units, that makes sense. It makes sense that prior to Trump, the FBI sent my cops to my house to decipher if I was okay because of the threats I received online here on YouTube. But now Trump made them all go fight more than what needed to be fought. And Pam Bondi, who sounds like Kim WSU, You think anyone's giving a shit about the way it got way worse after that point in time? No. So my only option was to go give my police my personal information, get a restraining order, giving the offender or offenders my information to keep me protected. That's bullshit. And when called out, they have no answers. So I don't know if you guys enjoy eating, oranges, bananas, fucking shit that comes from, California, Florida, all the hard work that people do in agriculture. If you enjoy it, I would suggest you don't vote in any which way against having the people who've already been here being allowed to stay here. They do jobs not one of us want to do. And unless you want to go do that job, I don't know why you have a fucking problem, so long they're not murderers or offenders. But you know what? I'll end it with this, because now I'm making myself mad again, and I love you guys. I literally love you guys. But I'll end it with this. And I'm making a note because I'll fucking forget, because that's how my brain is. What did I say? It was even Charlie Kirk. What did I say? It wasn't Charlie Kirk, was it? I don't know. I'll have to listen again. See, this is how my brain works. Like, legit. Oh, by the way, yeah, I'm so glad you said that, TK. By the way, y'all know we're ending of life tonight, tomorrow, through the 24th. Yep. Prophecy. And it's kind of funny that Charlie Kirk was honored as a prophet almost. But I've been in my Bible a lot today. And September 23rd is tomorrow. Almost soon. I just think we all got to get right with ourselves. I don't know who believes in God. I'm not here to preach to you or make you believe in God. What I am here to do is, if I expect people to be good people, I want those people to be good people. I'm going to be a good person too. But just so y'all know, go look it up, because it's a big deal. And I literally didn't sleep last night because of my looking into what's happening September 23rd. And today's already a very hard day for me, and I'm not going to get into that reason, but I was blown away. And probably why I'm so extra emotional, because I'm emotional all the time. But I'm glad you said that, TK, because I wanted to bring that up. I really did. And hi, Opie, I'm glad you're back. I'm going to be me, and that's all I need you guys to know. So if I got 2 people in here or 5,000, I'm going to be me. And at the end of the day, some of these conversations have had to be hard. But I would not be me if I did not defend some things that I had to say against Charlie Kirk. Because at the end of the day, darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that, said Martin Luther King Jr. So, I'm sorry, but I, again, would have loved to meet Charlie. Bet your ass he would have married my ass. Hope there's another Charlie. Not so young, maybe. But this is the truth and the way and the light. I'm not a prophet. I guess I'm a child of God. However, I'm just here to share with you guys what my feelings are. And I pray that you figure out your place with God. And at the end of the day, this is the weirdest thing. I feel very weird speaking about God, but I've been telling you guys, God has been speaking to my heart for months now, telling me to talk to you about God. And then this happens. And so, phenomenon. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. And that's one of my challenges. I have some fears that I need to get over. But Smiling Sleuth, look it up. I can't even explain it. It's supposed to be the rapture, I guess. I just I'm not doing it. However, today's the 22nd and tomorrow's the 23rd. I will go live again, and we know these things to be. We know that a lot of this has always been, prophesized by people who are self-proclaimed prophets and such. At the end of the day, I think that we all just can do a little bit to make a big difference. And I do believe God is testing us. I believe God is not happy with where we have landed ourselves. And if you don't believe in God, all I ask is that you're a kind person. Whatever your belief is none of my business. And that's why me and Charlie Kirk would have never. Hi, Bubbly. No, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. Sorry if I sounded like sassy or something. I don't mean to. I'm just passionate about what I'm saying. At the end of the day, you guys, we all have a choice of how we live our lives, how we respond to others. And yes, we're all human, right? But I think we've gotten to a point where it's going backwards, not forwards. And that was what I was going to say. And I don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it. To accuse the people of, the argument about Martin Luther King Jr. and how Blacks should have never been given their rights of the Civil Rights Act. And I can't, if I find it again, I'll post it with this along with whatever else I said I'd post. But and again, nobody deserves to die. I lost my shit when I heard the song sung by the child in Charlie Kirk's memorial, because I literally saw my dad. But I also defend my dad who went through segregation. And people do not have the right, especially as basic children in my book. Charlie's a kid to me. You don't have the right to speak on things you don't do your own homework about. Martin Luther King Jr. was not a bad person. He was assassinated. And just like Charlie Kirk didn't think he would be, obviously, none of these people think that's their way out of this life. But Charlie wanted to talk about Black people being killers and all this stuff. Yet who killed Charlie Kirk? And he was friends with Black people. So I'm not saying he's a racist. I'm saying people have to wake up and understand our words do matter, no matter who they are to. I don't like going to sleep mad at my mom, let alone my partner or whoever, because our words matter. At the end of the day, everything out of our mouth matters. And if I leave y'all with anything in this life, I hope, I literally truly pray and hope it is that words matter, people matter, and look at me. I'm just still a little ass channel. I don't act like I'm a little channel. I do what I do because I do it. And now YouTube is seemingly silencing people with voices, and that's fine. I'll figure it out. Like, at the end of the day, all I truly hope after what I witnessed yesterday, the whole day long, memorial, which parts of it I found beautiful, parts of it I found ridiculous. And at the end of the day, a man lost his life. And sometimes, well, let me go back to this first. The amount of times I heard the word sacrifice bothered me because of the way this whole charade and parading of what happened went on. And maybe if y'all want to talk, maybe I'll do, I don't know. I'm not talking publicly about my feelings on that, but I felt uncomfortable yesterday. And maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm psycho about Idaho. Maybe I have weird feelings. But I felt uncomfortable. And at the end of the day, I hope I'm wrong. I really do. I hope all my uncomfort was wrong. But it begs the question, how come some of the people closest to Charlie are now speaking out, making claims that are questionable? And I don't care if you're red, blue, yellow, brown, green, black, blue, yellow, orange, I don't know. I think that this time has come where Americans decide, why do we have to be left, right, red, blue, blue, red, I guess. Left, blue, red, right. Why do we have to be that way? Why can we not vote on what matters to us as Americans versus, oh, he or she's a Republican, good for him, or fuck him, or fuck her? That's bullshit. And I'm tired of it. It's the same prejudice we have always allowed, and it's ridiculous. Most of us want us normies, those of us out here on YouTube, being on the YouTube that don't have like a team of people doing our YouTube. Most of us want the same thing in our lives. And we aren't in each other's business. Oh my God, he's gay, or he's trans, or he's black, or he's this. No, who cares? At the end of the day, who cares? If my neighbor, I could say the same. Who cares? Unless someone's harming someone, why is it my business to put myself inside another American person's business with my judgment? Is that what God wanted? Because that's my biggest question to Charlie Kirk. Is that what God wanted? Because I sure as hell don't believe God wanted us to judge everyone so harshly that we hate other people. That's my opinion. And nobody has to agree. But I truly believe God is angry. and we're not doing very well over here. I truly believe if people, even if you don't believe in God, you don't have a God, it's not hard to believe in being kind. Be kind. Because at the end of the day, what if it was you? I literally live my life by that. What if it was me? What if? We don't ever see ourselves in certain situations, but what if it was you? So instead of judging on color or race or anything else, put yourself in someone's shoes. And screw the government. The government doesn't give a fuck about you nor me. They give a fuck about the rich get rich, the poor get poor. And if you don't believe that, then you're probably loaded and you can go ahead and drop me some money in my Cash App or my Venmo. Because if that's the case, fine. Prove it. I mean, come on. Most of us are out here doing the best we can with what we've got every day. And to the people who have been kind to one another, love one another, that's what we're here for. We weren't here to hate each other. Literally. Oh, and by the way, I want to say this one joke and then I'm going to go feed my dog. But I'm so glad I remembered this. So I hope I remember it right. But it's to do with darkness and light. And so I can't even tell you where I heard this, but it was hilarious. And so, you know, all of us who fight for the good, you know, Bubs. Hi, Noel. Bubs. Everybody, TK, all of you guys. I know you're all here because you believe in the goodness. And don't make me forget the joke. Okay. So I don't remember what this was, but this is some rapper or something old school. But you know what makes cockroaches come out? This isn't the joke because I'm going to make the joke so wrong. But cockroaches come out in the light. They hide in the darkness. That was the premise of the joke, okay? So don't let the cockroaches be hiding up in the darkness. Let's all bring the cockroaches out to the light. And I'm going to post, I'm making a note about Farley. I did get, and Bubs, you might be interested. I might just send it to you. I got my FOIA request about Farley, and I got 3 different cases. And I just got sidetracked, and then I got pissed doing this, as always. But I guess God has other plans. When I start to talk, God leads the way. I don't know. So I'm trying to cuss less because if that's the case, God's leading the way and I'm not supposed to cuss. But either way, I'll either post it. I'll post them. I'm going to send it to you, Bubs, if you want. There's a couple other docs you might want. But I just received that today. And I really, you know, have not wanted to post about Farley anyways. So, y'all, if I don't post it, I will give it to Bubs and she can do what Bubs in the clubs does and do her thing with it. I didn't see anything immediately important, but there are other case numbers that I noticed that maybe we have not all been privy to. But I'm not the proper person really to expose this stuff anyways. So I love you guys. Thank you for being here. And official Noel, the official bubbly is official. Same Ophi. Just so you know, because I was confused earlier too. And thanks, Donna. Sorry I didn't say your name, Donna. I appreciate you guys being here. And honestly, I'm making a note, bubbly. I'm going to go eat too real quick, but I'm going to send you the info from the email. And do that. And then, yeah, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thanks, TK, for being here. And I really appreciate you guys. Thanks for letting me speak my piece. And, you know, at the end of the day, I hope we're not living in a world of cover-ups and corruption. But if we are, we all have to be very aware and vigilant at best. So, love you guys. And why 3 a.m. bubbly? Is that the cutoff time? Because if so, I'm screwed with making money for this month. I love you guys. Now I have to go hurry. I'll send it to you right away, Bubs, from my phone. I'll just forward you I'll forward you the email. If you cannot open it, then actually I downloaded most of it. So at least I'll give you some. But I love you guys, and thanks for being here. Thanks for stopping by. Good to see you, Noelle, Donna, TK, Bubs, Ophi, and whoever else showed up. Thanks for Red Metal. If Red Metal, I'll email you or email me. Steven, Toes, love y'all. I love you guys. We'll talk soon. I'll be live soon again, and who knows what my yapper will have to say tomorrow, but I'm gonna go live more, and I appreciate you guys for being here just to hear what I have to say. So I love you guys. Stay safe. Have a wonderful Monday night, and love you. Talk soon.